Health Nuts, episode 18.
You're listening to Health Nuts with Dr. Chris Carr. Making lifestyle changes is hard for many people, and not knowing what to do or how to do it makes the task all the more daunting. Here at Health Nuts, we focus on helping you live a fuller life by discussing everyday health issues and exploring breakthrough solutions on how to overcome them. And now, here's your host, Dr. Chris Carr.
Welcome back to another episode of Health Nuts. I'm your host, Dr. Chris Carr, and today I've got an awesome guest for all of you, and that is one, Dr. Aaaron Tressler. With a strong background in health and fitness, Dr. Tressler always saw the need for complete overall health. When he discovered chiropractic at Life University, his vision and understanding of true health was complete. His In8life weight loss system was created out of necessity of growth and survival. It turned into a system that magically turned weight loss clients into raving chiropractic fans. His goal was to have rapid weight loss results, teach the principles of chiropractic, adjust them, and keep them under long-term care. He succeeded with those simple solutions. He's a board member for the Chiropractic Fellowship of Pennsylvania. He's authored 5 books. That's a ton. ICA member, speaker at Life Vision, New Beginnings, local corporations, churches, and colleges. And for all you locals, he's another Pittsburgh guy. So welcome, Dr. Aaaron.
Thanks, Dr. Chris. I'm excited to be here. It always is.
Yeah. Today's topic, which is going to hit home for the audience, we're going to talk a lot about weight loss, which is a big buzzword out there, and I'm looking forward to getting into that topic. Before we get into weight loss and what you've done throughout your years and years of practice, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'd love to. And I've been in practice 21 years. I first was interested in health and fitness, so I became a health phys ed teacher, played rugby at the time, big into sports, and I still play rugby at age 51. So to do that, yeah, everyone laughs, thinks, hey, well, not crazy. But to do that, you have to be healthy. You have to take care of your body. And the chiropractic care with lifestyle changes absolutely gave me that ability and that gift to do that. I have a wife. I have one wife. It'll be 27 years this month. I have 5 children and a grandson. We have a 65-acre farm out in New Alexandria, PA, where we have grass-fed cows, grass-fed sheep, chickens, and never thought I'd be a farmer, but it kind of just, God kind of has a way to blend your life into a neat twist sometimes. So that's my life where it's at right now.
That's as locally sourced as it comes.
What's that?
That's as locally sourced as it comes right there at the farm.
Yep, that's it. You know, we go out and get our eggs every day, and I have eggs just about every day.
That's awesome.
Fun.
So I'm looking forward to getting into this topic with the weight loss. Now, you have developed a product which we'll get into at the end, but what made you go towards the route with nutrition and weight loss going through your years of chiro?
You know, it's kind of crazy. I think I thrust it into our office in a way. I've always been interested in having patients eat right and exercise. I know we have to live a healthy lifestyle to enable the potential that God has given us through our nerve system and genetics to express itself. And if we don't take care of our temple, if we don't take care of our body through our lifestyle, it will just be ruined no matter what you're trying to do otherwise. And probably about 9 years ago, I was training for some ultra marathons, and it was a 50K run in Laurel Mountains, which is really stressful. So I was training about 30 to 50 miles a week. And what had happened was one day I went to put on my dress pants for work, and they were tight, probably by like 2 inches. And I thought, wait a second, a stupid dryer, it shrunk my pants. So I threw them down in disgust, grabbed another pair, and they were tight too. And I thought, uh-oh, this may not be the dryer. Like, how did this happen? This is crazy. How could I put on, about 15 pounds of belly fat while training 30 to 50 miles a week, eating healthy, exercising, and getting adjusted? And what I had discovered was the stress response of over-exercising was creating a dominant sympathetic stress hormonal response. And that's a big buzzword out there, sympathetic stress, the fight and flight. When your body's under stress, it will store fat for fuel because it's stressed out. It knows you're going to be under stress tomorrow. Let's get quick access to fuel, and that's put on belly fat, and we can take it, utilize energy real quick. So when I saw that happen to me, I said, I've got to get this weight off. I don't want to do this over 6 months, a year. I want to do this in a month. That's how my attitude is. And I couldn't find anything to help. And some of these programs were just outrageous. And they talked about eating healthy, doing it long term. And I thought I do eat healthy. And everyone talks about exercise. Well, I exercise to the nth degree. So I knew there was another component, something I was missing or doing wrong that just wasn't adding up. So I looked into, a bunch of programs, found the program that was that claimed that you could lose, a good 10, 20 pounds within a few weeks to a month. I thought, okay, I'll try this. It didn't sound crazy. So I cleansed my body. I ate this, a healthy diet. I took these supplements and it worked. And what happened was my 2 inches were gone within about 14 to 17 days. And I thought, wow, what could the patients do with this if this worked for me? So I had at the time all women's staff. And when you want someone else to do it, you have to ask somebody to do it. Well, that's not a kind thing to ask a woman.
It's not going to go well.
And I'm like, oh no, but because somebody's got to do this. So my one staff decided she's going to do it. She had put on some weight because she had lost her father and just kind of ate wrong foods for a while, even though she knew she shouldn't put the weight on. So she did it. She ended up losing 18 pounds in 20 days and overall about 38 pounds. And it came off easy. And I said, okay, we're on to something here. But what happened was through the years, I discovered it's not just about weight loss. Your nerve system controls hormone function and can control cortisol levels. So if your posture, your spine, your nerve system are under stress, what happens is blood cortisol levels go up just like you're eating sugar foods. Hormone activity goes down. And what does your body do? It craves sugars and fats, and you store belly fat. So we made it into one system. And what is very frustrating in our weight loss community, because this is the last thing I ever wanted to do. I thought weight loss is not, you don't have a good name when you say, oh, I do weight loss, because they just, you're dieting and you're taking pills or you're cleansing, and that stinks. So it was a very, I think, tough nut to crack to get into our office and apply to my principles, because I didn't want this to be about a quick fix, lose a few pounds and not change your life. I wanted it to be about a life change, a game changer that people would apply to their life, learn how to not only lose weight, but learn why chiropractic care and physiology plays a vital role in that as well.
So the one part which it hits home for so many people, which if you could go back to it, so the sympathetic stress. So when somebody's under stress, if we can kind of dummy that down for them. So we know somebody who's under stress, maybe they're working the 9 to 5, but what are other ways they can be under stress outside of maybe just an emotional stress?
And we talk about 3 things. Thoughts or emotions are one. We know that if we lose a loved one, if something is stressful in our family, our emotions are just wreaking havoc to our body. So hormone activity goes down, blood cortisol goes up. And it's real simple. It's like how thoughts can change your body chemistry is if we all thought right now biting into a lemon, or we saw somebody biting into a lemon, what would happen to the saliva in our mouth? We would start to salivate, and we may even cringe, yet we didn't taste it. It was a thought that created a chemical change in our body. So thoughts absolutely create that. Trauma can be from accidents, falls, sports injuries, stuff that can affect your spine and nerve system, stuff that can affect your posture. And what happens is the brain's trying to run energy through the spinal cord, out the thousands, millions of nerve fibers that exit the spine, getting to the hormones, getting to your body parts. And if there's stress on your posture or spine, it decreases that nerve activity or that energy. It's very similar to the people that are sitting in front of their computer with a hunchback, a forward head. They are having horrible posture. Their energy drops because the pressure on their nerve system is there. So it doesn't have to just be from a physical trauma like an abrupt injury or a car accident. It can be from the day-to-day things, the bending, the twisting, the sitting in front of the computer. And the third one is toxins. So we have a toxic environment. We have toxins all around us. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, the drugs we take, the vaccines we take. There's so many forms of toxins, and toxins will get trapped in fat cells. So it's very hard to reduce your fat levels if you don't detoxify and start cleansing and stop putting them into your body. They also can dehydrate your body and just wreak havoc. So even dehydration will start to cause postural changes, again, applying more stress on the spine and nerve system. So thoughts, traumas, and toxins, which we can't avoid, because patients will ask, well, how do I avoid this? You can't. You can't avoid this. We have to just create a healthy, strong body to be able to live in this world.
So when you went in, and that was an awesome description of that, what would you say with hydration? Is there any type of algorithm, anything you recommend for the typical patients? You have patients of all sizes and shapes.
I used to get very specific with this, and I kind of backed down on this. And the reason was I want the masses to be able to succeed. So we had an alkaline system in our office, and it was pretty expensive. We were telling patients, why don't you get an alkaline system in your house, get a water filtration system. And what I found overall, very few would do it.
Right.
So I thought, okay, how do we make it sustainable for the normal working person with, one person working in the family, the mom's home watching kids, maybe homeschooling. They don't have two jobs. They have to take care of 5 kids. It's that type of life. So we said, just drink clean water, drink purified water. You can get something for your house, even at Lowe's, a reverse osmosis. Just don't drink tap water and drink enough of it. So our system, and what we teach initially, is just start eating real food. It doesn't have to be organic. It doesn't have to be at Whole Foods. It just has to be real food. And once you establish that habit of eating chicken and not fried chicken or boxed chicken from a fast food place, once you start making it on the grill, then you can go to clean, healthier chicken, or organic eggs, organic chicken. But for the majority, if they were just start eating real food, their life would be profoundly different. And then it's not about, I can't afford a $500 bill at Whole Foods because it's so expensive. It's, you're going to eat chicken anyhow. Just buy the right kind and prepare it the right way.
That was awesome. So you have this person out there who is maybe tried a bunch of different things. What are some tips you can give them to get the needle working in the right direction for them?
The first thing is we have to get in the mindset. You have to get in a mindset that you want to change, and you have to find your why. So if you're out there and you're saying, boy, I'd like to be 150 pounds, and you're 250 pounds right now, but it's a wish and not a desire, you're never going to change. You have to get it deep in your heart and your mind to say, I have to change. And you have to pull out your why. So you have to spend some time and say, why do you want to change? I ask every patient that comes in, and if they don't give me a big enough why, if they say, well, I think it'd be nice to be in smaller clothes, you're not going to succeed. So I just had a lady today, and I said, why do you want to lose this weight? And her first response was, well, I think I would feel better. I'd be able to be more energetic, more active in my lifestyle. And she gave me a few other things. And I said, okay, that's good. But why? Why do you want to do this? Because most people want to lose weight so they become healthy, so they don't die like their parents did of diabetes, or they don't die at age 50 from a heart attack. They can live life and be able to play with their kids or grandkids, or not live in a nursing home. And when I explained this to her, she turned her head the other way and started crying. And I knew that I hit something that she didn't want to reveal at first. And I said, what is it? Because that's your driving factor. And she looked at me and she said, I took care of my mother who was, sick and dying, and I took care of her, and it was very hard. I can't do that. I can't be that person. She goes, and her daughter was sitting next to her, and she says, I can't do this to my daughter and my children. She was almost ashamed to think that would she do that to her kids as well. And I looked her in the eye and I said, there you have it. You're going to succeed. You live with that. Why? So if you're out there listening, you're like, well, I'd like to try a new diet. Maybe I should exercise, cut out sugar. Those are all good, but that's secondary. You have to get it in your mind. Why do you want to do this? Once you get to that why, then you say, let's seek out a program. There are many programs at work. The paleo diet, just cutting sugar out, getting more meats, clean protein, vegetables, some fruit, your life will change. Getting rid of sugar, stopping eating at 6 and 7 o'clock at night, eating more vegetables, eating at least 2 healthy meals a day, if you're eating unhealthy all day long, drinking half your body weight in ounces. There's so many small healthy tips. If you have the why, you'll just start to find them. It just starts to happen. And the reason we have a program is so many people say, all right, I have to do this, but my gosh, there's 150 diets. Where do I do it? All ours is a jump start that allows them to lose rapid weight in the beginning and reset their physiology and get on a healthy lifestyle, say habit. Then they don't need the supplements anymore. Then they can live a healthy life. Some people need that support, that jump start, that program that gets them initially started for the first 2 months. And that's all it is. Now they're guided for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I like how you said that. I would rework their physiology, and what you're doing is you're breaking old habits, and you give them those 2 months to break those habits. And typically, if they start to go back to their old ways, I would imagine their body's going to feel a lot worse than if they're eating that way before they have broken that habit.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, I love that. So what else? So we have the kind of nutrition with the sugar, the hydration, supplement wise. If somebody's like, do I need to take a ton of different supplements? Where is it? Can I just go to Walmart? What's the difference?
I would say if you're seeking out supplements, don't go to Walmart. Don't go to Sam's Club. Don't go to GNC. Those stores have some basic supplements, but they're not high grade. Most of them, and there was a study done a few years ago on GNC products that the majority of their products had very low content of the herb that it was saying it was in it. Like, let's say echinacea, it may only have 3 or 4 or 5% echinacea. And you ask yourself, well, what's the other 95%? My gosh, even if it's only $3 or $10 a bottle, it's not even worth putting in your body, because the other 95% may be toxic or fillers or stuff that your body doesn't need anyhow. We came up with, and we've done this for a while, where I see patients come into the office and they're on 20, 30 different supplements, where they're looking for the one. What's the one, doc? And I laugh. I said, it's like, what's the one exercise? It's like, there isn't a one. You got to do them all. So we came up with 7, and the 7 that we came up with are all herbal, but one is to work with the hypothalamus in the brain. The hypothalamus works with things like leptin and cortisol to start initiating the activation of fat burning. Probiotic for good gut bacteria. Chlorella is a good green algae for mineral content. We also use a fiber and a cleanse. And when you cleanse out your cells and you cleanse out the colon, you prepare your colon for good gut bacteria, and you prepare, as you eliminate this waste, all of a sudden you're starting to purify your body, and the absorption rate of nutrients is higher. We have a product called CardioMax and Sugar Shield, and these are just to help oxygenate the blood and help the Sugar Shield is to stop an enzyme called alpha amylase to stop your body from converting carbs into stored fat. So there's probably a million out there. We just formulated 7 that works in our office, and there's probably others that can work, but you have to find something that is complete. If you're looking for the one shot deal or the one vitamin deal, you're not going to find it. You have to work with somebody that's done it and knows what they're doing, so you don't waste time and money, because statistically 90 to 95% of weight loss patients regain their weight within 1 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. So obviously our system is broken. It's not working. My goal is, with whether you do our program and we consult, around the United States, we have doctors doing our program, and our goal is, hey, get people so they understand that they don't have to depend on a product to be healthier, to lose weight, once their body's functioning properly. These are just a jump start to get them there.
Yeah, I like where you went to, because with the Cellular Cleanse, which I love, and I'm a big proponent, if you don't go through any type of nutrition or weight loss, to give it a little more explanation with that Cellular Cleanse, when you just lose weight and you just try to diet, all those fat cells, if they're never cleansed, all they do is they get dispersed throughout elsewhere in the body. Whereas if you detox at a cellular level, That's what's going to allow you to become that yo-yo, like you were just talking about, where you're going to put the weight on in the next 1 to 5 years. And that's why it's so important. If you listen to what he said, you can even rewind it, go back to where he's talking about the cellular cleanse, because that is so, so important to take in. So if you're going in through any type of a nutrition or detox protocol, if somebody doesn't have that cellular cleanse in there, that's the first recommendation I'd make. If you don't see it in there, it's probably not a plan that's going to work long term for you. So I love that. I'm glad to see that it's in there. Moving forward with it, before we get into this wow section, I'm going to buzz a bunch of questions at you. 3 things that make you a health nut. What would you say?
I'm very passionate. I don't know if that makes me a health nut that I'm passionate, but my passion to be healthy drives me to, I believe, study the simple things. And being a chiropractor doesn't, just because you have a degree in something, a degree in chiropractic, medicine, nutrition, doesn't certify you to be a health nut or to be an expert. You have to take that and then study and grow from that. And what I've done, I've always been interested in health since I was a kid. I just didn't know what it was. I grew up being chronically sick, wetting my bed till I was 9, having IBS in my 4th grade all the way into junior and senior high, where when I was under stress hormone response, my gut would go into knots and I would have to run to the bathroom. So I was dependent on medicine, over-the-counter drugs to try to solve that problem. It never did. I developed allergies because when your gut goes bad, your immune system goes bad. So I developed allergies and sinus problems. So I was taking allergy shots, spraying stuff up my nose, and drinking stuff for my colon. And it wasn't until, and I thought I was healthy because I was athletic, I was strong, I worked out, I ate decent, I tried, I wasn't overweight, until I discovered chiropractic and the principles behind the nerve system. And what I understood was God created this body that's self-healing, self-regulating. We don't need medicine, and we shouldn't need a million herbs either. It should regulate itself and heal itself, but we have to feed it properly. If we're not feeding it properly, we're not supporting the system. If we're not exercising, we're not supporting this system. And the chiropractic end is the brain and nerve system are the master system. Everything runs off that. So when I understood those concepts, I realized it doesn't have to be complex. And to be a health nut or health expert, you have to take something complex and make it simple. I think it was something like Einstein said before, if you can't make it simple, then you're not an expert. And it really comes down to living a healthy, supportive lifestyle so the body that God created and designed will work properly. And being a chiropractor, you know this, Dr. Carr, when you clear out somebody's nerve system, adjust them, and their posture improves and their movement improves, their nerve system starts turning back on, they just begin to heal. They start experiencing energy and healing that they never dreamed possible. You add in lifestyle choices and bam. And the problem I see in our community, in America, in the world, is we're missing the principles and the component of chiropractic, which is the body is self-healing and regulating. The nerve system is primary. So I don't know. That was a roundabout answer, but I hope I answered that.
No, you hit the point. You hit the nail on the head, because I think we get lost in that the body is self-healing. And the body has the ability to heal itself. But if you're eating all those foods, if you're not eating that real food, if you're not exercising, or in your case, you were exercising, you were killing your body running those ultra marathons. I have a patient who does that, and it's just crazy amount of distances that they go, but the amount of damage it can do long term, you have to experience it firsthand. So if you're trying to do the right things right, but you end up doing them wrong, it's hard for your body to heal. So that was a great share, and I think we'll hit home with a lot of people. Whenever we talk about getting healthy, I also like to talk about that person who's sick, and the one who's tried everything. They've been on Jenny Craig, Nutrisystem. They've tried to lose weight, and they haven't moved, and they haven't lost an ounce, and they're frustrated. What do you tell that person?
First of all, it's a mindset. Get over it and move on. We've all failed everything we've tried in life. I failed being in health, as a dad at times, as a husband. I failed it as a Christian. I failed God. I failed my family. I failed my patients. We fail every day. So what? Get over it. So if I want to succeed, and all I do is look back at my past and say, well, look, I failed all these times. Who cares? Do it anyway. And I always talk when I'm on the radio and I talk to patients. One gentleman said to me, "You sound like a motivational speaker." And I looked at him and I said, "I am. We need to be motivated. If you don't get motivated to change your life and your health, where are you going to live? You're not going to stay stagnant. You're going to continue to break down with more disease and destruction. So we have to put the past behind us and say, do it anyway." I had a patient one day, everyone tells me this. They come in and they say, "Doc, I've tried every program. I've tried X, Y, Z." And they just look at me and I say, "You haven't tried mine. So let's look at this." And when I explain it with physiology and chiropractic, I've never had one person yet, Dr. Carr, look at me and say, "No, I've heard about this." They never have. Nobody's explained it to this detail. And it's simple. So I had a patient, Shirley, and she said, "Doc, I've tried everything. Since I was a kid, I was overweight. I've done every program under the sun. I'm done. This is my last chance." So I look, and she wanted to lose 100 pounds. So it's no small feat. And I said, "Okay, let's see what we can do." Her spine and nerve system were just a wreck. She had so much stress. She had curvature in her spine. She had degeneration in her spine. Yet she had seen a chiropractor for years. They never explained that this breakdown of her spine can change physiology and change hormone activity. So we put her on our program, and she got under chiropractic care. And Shirley ended up losing about 30 to 40 pounds in about 8 weeks. She went on to lose 101 pounds in 11 months. Wow. And it was simply by just resetting her body's physiology and showing her what she needs to do in her life. She continued to heal without taking without taking any products, and without exercise. She was just processing and functioning. When you lose that much weight, now you start to begin life. And you say, and she said to me, "I'm so glad I did this." Her husband looked at her and said, "If you want to try another one, go ahead." But I looked at him and said, if I can help you and you do this, you will succeed. So if you're out there and you're frustrated and you've tried everything, put it behind you and say, you have to do this and that goes back to the why, Dr. Carr. If they have a big enough why, my father died when he was 50 years old of heart failure. I was not going to die early from heart failure for my family. And now at 51, I have incredible health. I can run. I play rugby with these young guys. So maybe I'm taking it to the other extreme, but I'm proving this is what can be done.
Right. Yeah, I love that. And you can see the passion and just love for what you do and the amount of people you've helped throughout the years. So I love that. And I can't imagine the results your patients are getting with you, even past, but even the current ones now that you're working with. So I just love this program. I love what you're doing for everybody.
Thank you.
For those resources that are out there, so if somebody wants to dive into some more research, where do you usually send them to?
There's some basic resources for just health in general. I tell my patients, like, go to Dr. Mercola.com. He's a DO. He pulls out a lot of health information. However, sometimes that can get overwhelming. My own patients, I tell them, go to my website, email me, talk to us, come to our workshops, something local. I think if you can get your hands, like if the patients are local in your office, they come into your office and you can talk to them one-on-one, I think you have more of a profound impact. So, when you talked about the 5 books I wrote, I laughed. I said, if you would have told me this back in high school, because I could pass the English class, in college English, the teacher would look at me and say, "What are you doing?" I said, I did it all correct. And she would just, "Oh gosh, I got by just by C's." I'm like, how do I do this? But I did it out of passion. If any one of your listeners, I wrote a couple books, True Health and the ABCs of Health. And that could be a free gift. I will, all they have to do is you can put my email on the site or my website. And if they email me and say, "Hey, I listened to Dr. Carr's Health Nuts podcast. I'd like a free book." The True Health is it's like my chiropractic Bible. It talks about health, nutrition, my story, vaccines, pediatric care, sports injuries, how to exercise, how to eat right. The ABCs is attitude, behavior, and chiropractic. Very simple, very short, and it's based on a Christian perspective. I put a lot of scripture in there. So those are 2 resources I think can get them engaged at a very simple but refined a book, so they don't have to get confused with a lot of stuff out there.
When you're saying, so the True Health, to get that, they can email you?
Yeah, just email me and I'll send it out.
What's your Which email are you using, Doc?
They can email the Dr. Tressler, Tressler, at in8life.com.
And I will put this in the show notes for everyone who's listening. And then also, if you're on Facebook, we'll be in the comments section as well.
Okay.
So, Doc, hey, this message, it's going to change some lives.
That's our goal.
Yeah. And that's why I love this medium. I know you're doing the same thing and you're out there. I used to say when I first got out of school, my goal was to reach and help educate 1 million people. But through this medium, I mean, that was such a small goal back then, knowing how much we're going to be able to blow through that now that
absolutely
we get thousands of downloads a month. It's really, really cool.
Awesome.
So thank you for giving back and connecting. It was great seeing you.
Well, thank you for having me on. I always love doing this just because if we can reach one more person and reach especially the young that start to change their behaviors and the way they look at health and the way we look at chiropractic, we can change the world. And it has absolutely transformed my health and my family's health and thousands of patients over the years. And I think we're missing out on that when we can't experience that.
Yeah, and it's when we're able to get there, and it's just about that one person. And if we're able, it's what I've always said, if we're able to change one life through this podcast, throughout the entirety of it, it makes everything worth it. So I'm glad we're on the same page with that. Yeah. I appreciate you giving back.
Well, and I appreciate you doing what you're doing because we need more people doing this. So it takes a lot of effort to do this. So kudos to you.
Thank you. And we'll catch the audience next week on Health Nuts. Have an awesome week and a blessed one. Talk to you then. Bye now.
So, you've heard from the experts yourself this episode and have gotten some golden nuggets on health. There is so much more to come and so much more to learn. Head on over to pghcw.com. Again, that's pghcw.com and sign up for our newsletter where you'll receive free info on how to get and stay healthy. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Health Nuts with Dr. Chris Carr. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and please leave a review.